So it's preparing, and for a moment it will have a funny double noise, but I need to close the window, then it should be fine. Can you guys check if it's coming up then on YouTube?
Yeah, I'm about to pull it up.
Oh yeah.
It's preparing, and then for a moment. All right. So got it. So we should be on now.
Oh, I got to disconnect from my VPN.
It says live on YouTube.
Good. Well, I'm glad you're here, Mushroom General.
Hey, yeah, I'm glad I could make it.
Last minute, I was like,
My brother was like, "Oh yeah, you got a meeting." I was like, "What? What are you talking about? I got a meeting." And then, sure enough, boom, minds have assembled again.
But somehow we are not showing up on the. It says.
Yeah, we're live. Yeah.
But I don't see. I don't see us.
Let's see.
Can you see us? Like I don't see us.
Hold on.
Oh yeah.
It's showing up.
Perfect. It's there. It's all right. I got it.
Just behind a little, probably.
Yeah.
Let's see.
All right.
All right, let's watch me get grilled in the comments.
Rosla's Wi-Fi is working today.
That's good.
Don't say that. Don't say that.
Jinx it, huh?
Let's see how stable it is. So can someone drop in chat that we are live? Because I can't access Discord right now.
I'll be in chat.
Yeah.
Probably most of the time here.
Yes, live now.
Yeah, when you guys have the link.
Hey, King of the Oceans here.
Yeah.
Richie D, stop sniping gems.
What did you do, Richie?
What did I do? What did I snipe?
I don't know.
I think you've just got a reputation now.
Oh, Richie's always always sniping something. How much of the diamond pipe supply do you have, my friend?
Oh no, I've only got two. I've only got two.
Only
But
two. Okay.
Yeah. Doff my hat off to you, sir. That was a brilliant free mint tip that you posted earlier.
Oh, did you like that? Yeah.
Well, I got two for some reason. I don't know how I've wangled two, but I think I've got one that's got some rare traits. I don't think I've got a trait that's over 1%. So
Hey,
I'm looking
that's
forward to
awesome.
seeing.
Yeah, I mean, I like the art, the background, and the dev seem pretty legit. The comics legit, so that was pretty cool to drop.
This is comics. Okay,
Yeah.
nice.
Yeah.
Are they trading on OpenSea right now?
Yeah, yeah. I'll say I think it's like $30-$40 selling on OpenSea, but some of the art's pretty cool on it. So
nice. And you get the rights to what's in the comic?
Yep. Or the character of the comic. The character.
Nice.
Yeah.
I did a little bit of looking on that Hoolies. That's pretty cool too.
All right, guys.
yeah,
I think we have quite a few visitors now already.
Yeah, I see JD's in as well.
Watching. So hey everyone.
Fiera.
I can see your comments already.
Yeah.
What is up? What is up?
So this was a very spontaneous idea to come together because there's been so many questions in chat already about LP and OINK and claiming and what is this all about. So we thought we collect like all the knowledgeable people in here. So we have Richie and we have the Mushroom General, we have Tin Boy and we have Rosla with hopefully working Wi-Fi. So we are here to tell you a bit about how this all works, and you can ask any question that you want. Like you have the full power here, and even the people that set up the LP pool, like Richie, Timoy, Mushroom. So yeah, I would like just to start off. I mean, we can finally claim our OINK on the web page, which is really cool. That was the final moment to start the LP. So I don't know, can someone of you just explain what is a liquidity pool for the ones that don't know?
You want to kick us off, Richie?
Can do, yeah. I mean, basically a liquidity pool is just to facilitate the trading of the coin you compare it, obviously we're referring to OINK. So you can set up liquidity pools for OINK and US dollar token, OINK and Bitcoin perhaps. Probably best to keep to the sort of ERC20 coins with that in mind. But the decision was made, obviously, to give the coin perhaps a little bit more, I don't know, easier to use utility. It would be a wise idea for it to be available from an exchange. So obviously looked into different exchanges. I think we narrowed it down from a few voice chats between Uniswap and SushiSwap. And Uniswap basically swung it because, one, the fees weren't ridiculously high to use. I think they are slightly cheaper. The rewards to the people who supply or sort of stake money within the liquidity pool perhaps isn't quite so high as what we would have had on SushiSwap. But one of the, I don't know, the swinging factors for me was the fact that we would have a chart immediately. And today, I've just been telling everyone here, it's quite emotional seeing a chart for OINK.
Yeah, you love a chart, Richie.
Yeah, no, it's
Yeah,
special.
man.
Exactly. So, so in that respect, going back to the question, it's basically, you know, we want as many people as possible to sort of contribute and stake a little bit of OINK and a little bit of ETH into that liquidity pool. The bigger it gets, the more serious the coin looks. So it makes the project look good. Anyone who stakes will receive rewards through Uniswap. At the moment, the sort of rewards are any transactions that happen, whether it's buying OINK or selling OINK or swapping OINK for ETH and vice versa. 0.3% goes into a pot to be distributed to the people who have contributed to the LP. So basically, and I've said this a few times, and I think I even said it on the last stream we did, the liquidity pool is not going to make anyone rich in terms of returns, but there will be. So obviously, the more transactions that happen on it, the more fees that get paid. So obviously, the reward pot gets a little bit bigger. So in time, as things grow, you know, it is a chance to basically have a little bit of additional income weekly or monthly, whichever way. So I don't know, I think I'm waffling now, but in a nutshell, to me, the liquidity pool is basically just to facilitate the trading of that coin, either buying of it or selling of it.
Yes, brilliant.
Yeah, the only thing I would add real quick is just on that is just the reason for the liquidity pool is to make the, like you said, it's to facilitate the trading, but it's a little bit more than that. It's like to make it immediate versus like like a stock portfolio or even your NFTs. You have to have a buyer at the price you're wanting. So it could take you minutes, hours, days to sell something in an order book process versus an LP gets you like immediate liquidity for that coin, or you get immediate purchasing power of that coin, right? So you don't have to wait for it. And that's, the importance of the LP is to make it a little bit more immediate, because otherwise we'd have to order book it, and that would just be, a difficult process.
Yeah.
Yep. And with all of
That's exciting.
all the burn and utility we have coming too, it's a place for people to be able to swap ETH for OINK for ETH. But mainly at these stages, I would guess that people would be lacking in OINK for symbiosis if they want to. You now have a place that you can go and pick up or kind of jump the line in a sense, just by purchasing the OINK. And then, the idea here is to build the healthiest liquidity pool that we possibly can.
Yeah.
If you look at the most successful projects, they have some of the best liquidity pools inside of the NFT space so far. I was looking through, there's a list circulating right now that probably a lot of you have already seen. And I think that the Kongs with bananas, their liquidity pool is somewhere just over 3 million US dollar value. Let's aim for higher. We have the tokenomics. So if we have flush liquidity like that, and people are willing to be providers, so that others can, swap and exchange and this and that and everything else. What it does is, I would say, think of it less as a place where you can like, oh, I'm going to go and flip my OINK today. It should be more of a thought of like, well, if this liquidity pool becomes healthy and starts to, attract some other buyers, cats are naturally going to be repriced because you're producing 5 OINK per day. So yeah, I would caution just thinking about it as like, oh, I'm going to go trade my OINK for ETH. Because you're probably going to lose to fees relatively quickly, especially at present price. And think of it more as like a long term. This is huge value for our ecosystem as a community and as a project. And we want to build something as healthy as we possibly can. So anytime you pull from the liquidity, that is obviously you're right, but in a sense damaging it. And anytime you add to it, you're kind of helping provide a little bit more stability to it, in a sense.
Yeah. There was a question in chat. How did you set the price range for that? Like, what was the thoughts behind for setting it at that price? 40 cents, right?
Yeah.
40 cents is what we locked in on. It was kind of a little bit of like back and forth. We weren't totally certain. In all honesty, 40 cents is not where we think the value of OINK is presently, but we kind of, I think, decided to lean on that side specifically for these early participants to be able to fill out their chance for symbiosis if they want to be in on like the first day. It's a very affordable way to be able to swap and pick up the OINK to fill in the missing gaps. But over the life of it, the starting price, again, really doesn't matter. Like Kongs, when they started bananas around 20 to 25 cents. So a little bit lower than we did. And they're now trading, 42, they peaked at 120. So don't think that this is any sort of limit. It's going to be how useful OINK is. And in these early days where we have symbiosis and you can name and you can, create these stories and everything, in comparison to like the new supply that's being added, it should be relatively matched in terms of, supply and demand. But think long term, like, our devs are here building for the next at least 5 years, probably longer. So really try to think with that timeline in mind. We have incredibly deflationary tokenomics. We talked a little bit about it last time, but our token can hold price as long as our liquidity pool is healthy, ideally.
Yeah. Gluco wants to know if it's better to provide OINK in the LP or ETH.
You have to do both. You don't get a choice.
Yeah.
So you have to do 50-50. Whatever value in OINK, let's say it's $150 worth of OINK, you have to put in $150 worth of ETH, whatever the ETH is priced at in that moment.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And sorry, go ahead.
No, I was just going to say, so it's 100% always 50-50. And then when you post in it, but the other way to, just being a LP provider is not the only way to make it healthy, right? The buying, like Mushroom talked about, is definitely helpful. A little bit of the selling, I don't want to make sure that's not like necessarily noticed as a bad thing, because putting money in and out and activities in and out is a huge thing. So if you don't have the ETH to add to it, that's definitely fine. I've even seen people just doing the buying, that obviously adds ETH into it, and that'll help push up the price of the coin as well, which is cool.
Absolutely. Yeah, we want transactions, definitely. That's like that 3% that everybody shares in. The more transactions we have, the more we're going to be sharing in those profits.
Exactly.
Or 0.3%.
Yeah.
So Spiritus is just asking, she meant the price range to set in the LP. Like, let's see if I can get it right. So when she opens the link, it shows 0.15 ETH towards 436 OINK. And she thinks it can't be right. So is that?
So And this is the thing, it's going to be based off of whatever transactions have happened inside of it are going to affect this ratio. I mean, relatively immediately. So if there was some selling or some buying or some whatever, if OINK was pulled or ETH was pulled or whatever it may be, that ratio is going to be imbalanced. We started it at Rich, what was it, 9,500
Yes.
OINK to 1 ETH?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think ETH was just a little under 3,800.
Yeah, it was like right around there. So we basically pegged it to 40 cents. But again, our liquidity pool, I mean, with 2 ETH inside of it and, you know, the matching OINK, a small transaction is going to make a really big difference. And I know that some people were already buying and selling. So that ratio is already going to be skewed, definitely. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and I think just to kind of add, I know Spiritus was also asking, like they posted some screenshots in the Discord earlier. Something did look a little off, but the language barrier was hard for me to look at. So I haven't had a chance to actually add to the LP myself yet. I've got to go claim my OINK and move some ETH around and everything to make that happen. But when I do that, I'll try to capture some screenshots and some do some screen recording, try to see if I can make sure there's no sensitive information, and I'll frankly we can work together and try to make sure that's posted in a Medium or something, because there may be a question that they actually have, but I just couldn't look at the screens at the moment to validate what they're asking. But the price difference they're asking does look a little odd, but there may be like some setting that's there, or maybe some gas, or I don't know. I'd have to look at like truly what's in there. On that screen at the moment.
We had this morning. I think Mushroom, it was more while you were adding your liquidity, wasn't it? With the chart, the bars that you move, which gives you the ranges that you are looking to sort of basically put your investment into.
Yeah.
And it did skew, didn't it, the costs. So if you're weighted more towards Ethereum, it will cost you more Ethereum than if you're weighted more.
Right. I mean, anybody who wants to contribute, I think at this point, like Spiritus, if you try moving those scalars, see if the range shifts for your Ethereum versus your OINK. Like you should be able to maneuver that in terms of what you want to contribute. So if you're contributing that, like if those are the options, the way you would, I guess, figure out what your actual ratio is going to be. So if you're doing, it was 0.15 ETH for 436 OINK, to find your ratio, you just want to do, should be 436 divided by 0.15. Yeah, so you're pegging closer to like a 3,000 OINK to ETH ratio, which might be more accurate in the future, but you're probably over contributing ETH, would be my guess in the early going. So see if you can move those sliders, and you can get that maybe a little bit closer to that 9,500 point to 1 ETH.
Okay. Yeah. Alin has asked a good question in here. He says, if he has, let's say, 20,000 OINK and he wants to add to the liquidity pool, but he doesn't have the ETH, selling 10,000 OINK for ETH and adding the pair of the remaining to the pool, would it damage the LP or not?
Wow, great question.
Yes,
yeah, exactly. You want to elaborate, Rich?
Yeah. It will affect the price because it will reduce the value of OINK. But then once you've reinvested that Ethereum that you've pulled out back into the liquidity pool, then it will sort of, improve the liquidity pool to a certain extent, but you're skewing it slightly because there's a bit more OINK than there was originally but probably the same amount of ETH, possibly even less ETH if you're taking into consideration fees.
Guys, what I would recommend, if you want to contribute a big way like that to it, I would say try to look at getting your liquidity out of, maybe selling a cat, was probably a better way to be able to pick up the ETH than by dumping a big quantity like that on, the liquidity pool just to pull the ETH and then redistribute it. The idea, like, really is to, again, provide it for those who feel like they, need the OINK or the ETH, whatever. I would.
Yeah. The only other thing I would just add to that too, is like the early stages of it, it's definitely going to have a lot of skewing. Once we get to a point, if we get to a point where there's 70, 80, 90, 100 ETH in the liquidity pool, doing something like that would, it still have an effect, but the quantity of it would be minimal at that point to it. So, you're trying to do it in big quantities, maybe best to try to wait a little bit for it if you want to kind of get your liquidity that way for the ETH. That would be probably the ideal for the pool. If you did it in smaller quantities, I know somebody mentioned it earlier, they did, I think, like 500 OINK they sold that and tried to put in 500 into the LP. Like, that's minimal to it. It still would be good to wait a little bit, just for the health of it. But, obviously it's your guys' OINK and ETH to do that with. Those are just kind of our suggestions around it. So,
yeah.
Go
ahead. No, go ahead.
I was just gonna say, the biggest utility, like your two kind of main options with your OINK right now, are really like liquidity pool and symbiosis. Like we have, the guys were saying, the merch shop is kind of the next thing on deck, and of course the game and everything next year. But if you want to help grow your investment, then the best thing that you can do is either use the OINK for the burn mechanisms, because that pulls it out of the ecosystem and that, is deflationary. Boom, good. And then locking it up. It's kind of like the idea of like staking, in a sense. Like the more OINK we lock up inside of the liquidity pool, again, the healthier our investment as a whole will be. And again, we get a good liquidity pool, you will not need to get the liquidity out of the pool, because cats will just naturally start to rise in price.
Yeah, exactly.
And somebody, sorry, I know we're going to ask another question there, Pansy, but I saw somebody ask about the impairment loss, and I wanted to make sure we brought that up. Yeah, good. Because that is a thing that, all investors need to make sure that they're looking out for. There is a potential for it. But best thing I would say around that is there's a couple great YouTube videos if you kind of Google about impairment loss and the risk of it. There's always a risk for any market like this to crash to zero, and then obviously anything that you had in the LP could potentially be worth nothing. But it's the same thing with our NFTs. At any point, any NFT you own could potentially crash to zero. We've seen rug pulls and stuff. Obviously, we don't. No one here believes that the Boars or anything are in part of that, and luckily, knock on wood, I've never been a part of a rug pull. But it is there, and it is something you need to definitely check out. It's not always sunshine and butterflies in the investment world, so you probably want to just kind of Google, like I said, Google that or go to YouTube and check a few things out on that. Unless anyone else wants to add about impairment loss. There
is a bit of a plus to the fact that Ethereum's on a little bit of a nosedive at the minute, because obviously if as we expect the OINK value to overall increase, I would expect Ethereum to reclaim some of its lost ground as well. So for the short term, we've got sort of less chance of this impermanent loss, because both coins should move upwards, hopefully at roughly the same rate. So as I say, I think we were lucky with the timing of setting it up now while Ethereum is on a bit of a dip.
Yeah,
definitely. Can I also just add too that, like, early stages, price will be the thing that a lot of people look to. but it's really not significant. Like, you want to look to how much liquidity is actually inside of the pool. That's the main metric. You look at that, like, again, that kind of sheet of various tokens with LPs that are circulating right now. And it's kind of on average, like the low end, what I've seen is 60 to 70K. The average is like 2 to 300K. And then the elite ones like Banana, and I saw one other token, have, 2.5 to 3 million in liquidity. What that shows is, like, me as an investor, do I want to come to a project where the people support the project so much that they're willing to provide $3 million worth of liquidity to future market participants or current market participants? So that's really the idea. It's like, price will not do a tremendous amount. Like, yeah, it will. It'll grab, attention. But when you do the calculation of, like, well, we're only minting 5 OINK, so it's not a crazy amount that we're producing. But if you want to attract new investors, the amount of liquidity inside of the pool is a way better metric to pay attention to.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Interesting. I'm also learning here. That's why I leave the talking to you guys. There was also a question like, how do I add to the liquidity pool? So
Franzi, let's do an educational video, guys. We'll have a click through, like, exactly what to do within hopefully like a week or two. I'm going to be going out of town, so it might lag a little bit, but we'll definitely have something for you guys.
It's not good enough, Mushroom General. You can't go out of town. Not now.
No, you can't.
You had all
Not
month to go
now.
out of town.
Oh shoot,
Long time.
I mean, yeah, it's tough to just say exactly how to do it, but, like, follow clicks as best as you can get yourself to what you feel like is the right place, and then share screenshots in chat, and somebody will assist if something looks off. Somebody who's basically always in chat to be able to help.
Yeah, and like I said, when I do mine tonight, tomorrow, I'll do a screen record and try to remove any data that shouldn't be on there, and I'll try to post that. It won't be as clean, but at least it'll get us something. So we'll try to get something in there for everyone.
Great.
Yeah.
Great.
I think it's also good if we, when we later link the video in our community announcement channel, we will also post all the links in it, like the link to the chart, the link for the poll, so that you can easily access those kind of things.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I'll do that afterwards. So it's easy accessible for you.
Beautiful.
Exactly.
Exciting for
Let's
sure.
see if there's any more questions.
Yeah, how we go?
Hey, one thing I'll throw out before we end, if there's not a ton of questions, is just a reminder, everybody, since OINK is claimable, you would be best before you purchase a cat to make sure that how much OINK is actually on that cat now. So before it was automatically there. Now the 130, 135 as of today, I think somewhere around there, that is a potential for it to have been claimed. So if you're paying 0.5 for a cat, and one has 0 OINK and one has 135, obviously you may want to, unless you're more about looks, you may want to look at the one that has the 135 still on it. So just make sure you still check it. And that's still on the website. All the information on how to do that is still on the website, which is cool.
Yes. Great point. Great point.
I think this is amazing. That you can still get like meerkats having these 135 OINK already, which is cool. So because we had someone in chat today, like, I want to buy a cat, but I don't have enough for symbiosis, and boom, it came with 135 OINK, and there was the symbiosis.
Yes.
So
and many other projects don't function like that. The guys specifically, because they thought it was the best, set it up that way. So absolutely, yep, brilliant.
Yeah,
and that's one way to think about how you can, and I'll post more about this in chat later. One way you can think about also purchasing OINK as well as technically through buying the NFT, which has OINK on it, and also the same thing of selling OINK may potentially be through selling your cat with OINK on it, especially as it starts to get claimed. Those would be more valuable. So it wouldn't necessarily always have to be through through the charts as well. So just kind of think about, different ways around of selling. There's, some good ways to do it without affecting everything and still making money off of it.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. If you're going to sell a cat, start pricing in how much OINK is on it and reflect, whatever roughly spot is for OINK at that time.
Yep.
Yeah. So check out if the cat that you want to buy has OINK on it. There's good chances right now because a lot of people haven't claimed it yet. So
yeah, exactly.
You should just
anything.
Go out
Probably
now.
anything. Yeah, exactly. There's going to be a lot that are available that will have OINK tied to it for sure.
Yeah, exactly. I think it was just one more question that I've seen is when we add to liquidity, do we pair with ETH or wrapped ETH?
ETH.
It's ETH, yeah.
Yeah, ETH, not wrapped ETH, yeah.
Exactly.
It might say that on the pool name, but what you're providing is ETH. Yeah.
ETH, yeah.
So are there any other questions in the room? Like you can shoot them now.
Yeah, ask away, guys. I'm sure we're going to have so many more questions in the future, but this is a good starting point to be able to send people to.
Sure.
We'll have those. We have one.
Riley's just saying thanks for holding my hand, guys. I'm so lost.
Hold on.
Oh.
Franzi, stand up a second. What's this?
Oh yeah, dude.
What the fuck?
Hey! Oh, let's go.
I just clocked it.
Hold on, wait.
Awesome.
Wait, huh?
Oh wow.
That was so cool.
So good. Wow.
Yeah, it just arrived today, so I had to sneak that in.
Hey, nice.
Nice. That's why you wanted to go live. This is the
Yeah, right.
Yeah, only for that.
That's so cool.
So yeah, I think there's no more questions in chat. It looks good. I think it was great for explaining all of that. And we will also try to put it all together in a Medium article, so you have it in written and writing. And yeah, this video will come up and you can watch it. We will share it. And if there's anything you want to know, just ask in chat. I mean, you have the guys here, you see the names, you know them, they're always there. And just feel free to ask, just don't hold back. If you get stuck somewhere, just shout out. So we're very happy to help.
If I'm ever in chat too, I'm always open for a VC. So if anybody has like questions they want to ask, yep, for sure. Yeah.
Yeah, always happy to jump in voice if there's anything.
Brilliant.
Right. Cool. Well, thank you.
Can I just emphasize really quick?
Yeah.
Big step for the Boars today, guys. This is huge. Like,
Gomez posted that. Something about like one big step for the Boars. I don't remember exactly. It was the play on the Neil Armstrong, but I can't remember exactly how he did it.
Yeah.
One small step for man, one giant leap for mankind, whatever it is. Yeah. Yes.
Yeah, it's a big milestone. It's a huge milestone. And having this liquidity pool and being able to claim OINK now, like this is a huge milestone. It should be celebrated. I mean, now we have 3 collections and this liquidity pool and loads of ways to spend our OINK. It's going to be
symbiosis
awesome
tomorrow.
These next few weeks.
Yeah, one more day.
Yeah.
Symbiosis. Let's go.
Yeah.
Oh, exciting.
And did you see Gomez's message with the merch store? That was also pretty cool. Like, I can't wait to see what kind of merch they are coming up with. And that we can OINK.
Not sure if this is going to be the case, but potentially one of one pieces will be in the merch shop. Potentially, we'll see. And I'm gonna be going after those one of ones. So you gotta have a lot of OINK.
Get in line.
If you want a challenge, come on. I got my farming. My OINK is stacking, baby.
Hey, I got one more question. I've got 2 questions. One is, what beer are you drinking, Rosla?
It was Stella. I was drinking Stella, but now I've progressed onto some red wine for the evening. So
some red wine.
So we can all jump on voice later, and it's gonna be fun with Rosla.
No.
Hey, let's go.
And Gluco is asking how much liquidity is needed for a successful LP.
It varies, but like let's shoot for the stars. I mean, I think we can get this thing over $1 million easily with everything we have coming. Like a successful one, you can have a successful liquidity pool, chill at 10,000. Like it doesn't have to be anything massive. The idea behind it again is to facilitate swap between the two tokens. So that's already set up successfully in a sense. The only time you truly fail as a liquidity pool is if people don't want to be providers anymore, and everybody winds up, pulling out their ETH or their OINK or whatever. But I envision with the amount of building we still have and the amount of utility that we're going to be providing for OINK in the future, I don't see it going anywhere lower over the course of the time. I think we can build one of the best ones in the game, dude, because that's what the Boars do.
I believe so too. Yeah, I believe that too. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, brilliant.
I mean, Alan has given a prognosis. He says $1 billion trillion. So.
Yeah, that's probably closer. There you go.
That's about right. Yeah, sounds about right.
Sure. Yeah.
That's a good one.
Yeah.
And there's a question: is OINK listed on CoinGecko or market cap?
Not yet.
Yeah.
Eventually it will do. Yeah, but not. I think it'll take weeks before they pick it up.
Yeah, if you look at I keep leaning on Kong's example, but I think they launched their coins sometime in like June, July, and they didn't make it on CoinGecko until August. So it took them 2 months.
2 months.
Yeah.
All right.
Exciting times.
It
really
is
exciting. Yeah, it's so exciting. Yeah, I've been hyped so like all day, 5 or 6 times today. It's been awesome.
Nice.
Good day.
And we just keep that hype and take it into tomorrow. So
hey, baby.
yes,
Symbiosis.
and I've heard already that people will be on Voice sharing their reveals, so jump in.
Guys, I'm getting a mushroom.
You're getting
mushroom, diamond pipe guaranteed.
Let's see that.
He's already spoken to the devs. He's got that one set up.
Yeah, they got me. They got me covered.
Yeah, so if you want to join us tomorrow, I think at 4 p.m. UTC, when the Symbiosis starts, we will be.
Is that when it starts? Is that an announcement? Yeah, I didn't see
it's
that.
always 4 p.m. UTC.
Always, yeah.
Okay,
always,
right.
Yeah.
It always is.
4:03. I don't know. 4:04. We'll see what Gomez.
5 minutes late because of Romanian clocks are.
Right.
No, at 4 p.m. UTC tomorrow, Symbiosis, and we will be on Voice and share our first mints and reveals.
And one more announcement: Hercules promised he'll be on the next YouTube live. Hercules.
Yes.
Oh yes.
Hercules.
Thank you, buddy, and get him on here. I want to see him.
Yeah, brilliant. He's
well,
going to do
some. He can ask me in my face if I'm married or not, and not constantly ask me in chat.
Yeah, we'll see how he is. If we have the same cojones in person.
So someone is just saying meant that we should mention that we just need a small amount of money for a lot of people to make a great liquidity pool.
Yes.
Not everybody has to put in like 1 ETH. Like
No.
there will be a little bit count.
Oh yeah.
If everyone puts $100 in, we'd have an awesome LP. Like it'd be awesome.
Yeah, absolutely.
$100.
Yeah.
I mean, God, you pay more on gas for minting.
That's the thing. Yep.
So,
Yep. So be strategic in when you add, because it will cost gas every time you interact with it. So, stack your OINK for a while and add strategically, maybe once a month or something, or whatever, works well for you guys. But yeah, every little bit counts. If we have 3,500 unique owners, if we had $100 from each person, like boom, 350K is that?
Yeah.
Like that's an LP, baby. I put those right in the middle of, some of the ones already on the market. So, but again, we're the Boars, so we don't target that. We target the best.
Better.
So yeah, I want to beat Kongs. We're going to get above 3 mil. We're going to get to 5 at least. I'll see you guys there.
That's the spirit.
Oh.
I think the great thing is again, like people are asking like how can they contribute to the boars, and I think this is a good way to contribute and support the project. So I'm not seeing it as a quick flip of money, but really supporting the project in the long term. This is like a long-term investment. When you add to the liquidity pool, is like the same thing as holding onto your boars and cats.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah.
Almost even more so here, because you're like providing liquidity for others potentially to be able to come in and enter the ecosystem in a different way. Some people, some crypto folk might just want to buy OINK outright. And if you provide the liquidity and you provide the OINK, and somebody comes in and says, well, I just want to hold that token, well, then, you know, we get a repricing of the ETH to the OINK inside of it. And then price for OINK increases. And then therefore price for cats increase. Boom.
Yeah.
Right. You're working for your investment. Yeah.
So maybe we should talk to the guys and say, like, if we reach a certain level, they will be here live with us.
What should we do? Like live milestones when we hit 100K, we go live.
Reveal milestones.
All right, let's do it. If we hit 100K, we'll go live. That'll be our first milestone inside the LP. Boom.
So 100K Gomez reveal.
And Nemaku.
Yes. Boom. And we bring champagne and pop some bottles.
Oh, I'm up for the champagne. I'm always up for
there
the champagne.
There it is. Yeah.
All right. I guess
guys.
we're good. I think all the questions are through, I think it looks like. So yeah, like looking forward to tomorrow, and I'll see you guys in chat and hopefully tomorrow in voice when we can all start to mint our symbiotes. Woo! So excited.
Yeah, let's
go, baby.
Yes.
I can go.
Let's go.
So let's see who gets the first. Who's the quickest?
Oh, probably me.
You, Franzi.
And I hear that people are already lining up for number 69.
Ooh.
So.
Oh, very nice.
Achilles bag, that is.
All right. Well, thanks everyone for listening, for adding all the questions and making this such a cool thing and watching it and sharing it. So we will put it up in the community channel and with the links that you will need. And we see when we do the next one, maybe on Saturday, and it will be all about symbiotes. Let's see if we can manage. And who
I'll be in Texas, so I might miss that one. I'll do what I can. But I might be sending in some questions.
Yes. All right, guys. Have a nice evening, day, night, wherever you are. And I'll see you soon. Bye.
Bye, guys.
Bye, guys. Bye.
See you guys.